Alrighty, hello degenerates and welcome back to another stream. This one a little bit different from a lot of the ones that I've done in the past. This is going to be an analysis stream, kind of like I always do over here on this channel. But this time around, it's actually going to be a lot of speculative stuff. So definitely going to have a lot of fun with this. We're going to be first talking about wants that we'll want in terms of patches, and then the next thing that we'll cover just speculation that we'll have for the arms character going in. We don't really have any information about what's going to happen, but we at least have like one little hint and like things that I would personally want. And I'll break it into two things. There'll be things that I would personally want and things that I think will happen. So with that said, first, we're going to be just covering patch things. I already got Smash in here already, so we'll be doing that. And then I actually do own a copy of ARMS. So we'll actually take a look at the game, kind of break down some things that I think will be really, really neat to see, things that I hope they incorporate, things I hope they do with the characters, and a lot of extra things there, debunking some things just at least right off the bat with the current information that we have. So first thing we're going to be talking about, as I mentioned, is we are going to be talking about patch notes. So some things I want to talk about. Of course, we'll be talking about my two mains, Dawangthang and King K. Rool. Kind of want to do like a little montage roast because I haven't done one of these in a while, but this will be very fun. And this is a fixed King K. Rool video. It's not very popular, thank God. And it is horribly put together. not just because of editing, but just like in terms of the content that they have in here. And it's like, I feel like this is like one of the most perfect things to go over to just kind of highlight like not trying and being a scrub versus things that you should be doing. Like ways that you really should be analyzing things and ways that you definitely should not be analyzing things. I think this is actually a really good thing to go over in just terms of like learning like what's valid to complain about, what's not valid to complain about. So something I want to mention is if you guys aren't really too like ventured out into other fighting games, there's a lot of really good documentaries about them, and it's worth playing other fighting games just because it will give you different perspectives on like what you should be doing in fighting games in like terms of neutral and just like being exposed to different communities. The way that each community handles different problems is very different. Like I feel like Smash is the worst like with addressing balance issues, and I feel like generally speaking most other fighting games they do a much better job. Like something that you'll have some people complain too much. Like one thing that I absolutely love is I do encourage you guys to watch the Killer Instinct documentary that came out. Let me just bring that up real quick. Let's hold back to block. So this is a wonderful documentary that just came out. Definitely, I'm going to just throw it there in the chat right now so that way you can save it for later. But wonderful documentary to watch. And at one part of it, they do talk about balance. And for you guys that are watching on YouTube, I'll throw this in the description as well. Just because it is good. There's one part where they talk about balance, and it's like there's a character that they have. It was like Jago, and like basically he had this healing thing, and people wanted to nerf the healing, but like when they really looked at the issue of the character, it was just that he had no flaws at all. So they basically gave him a flaw, so then that way there's something to exploit, and nobody was complaining about the fact that they didn't heal him anymore, or they didn't nerf his healing anymore after that. So things like that. So we're gonna kind of apply that stuff right now to this King K. Rool video. So this is something where, oh, good, we got following. Lagacidi, thanks for the follow. I guess I never really advertised my streams there, but thanks, dude. So yeah, we're going to be talking about all the flaws with this one video. So I'm actually kind of glad that you're here. Basically, this is kind of like I think the King K. Rool Discord's like perspective on everything wrong with King K. Rool. And I think these are like the absolute worst things to highlight. I don't remember if he's using... Okay, cool. He's using DK music. So I can at least have the music playing in the background. So, okay, complaining about belly armor, I think, is like one of the most invalid things in the entire world. Like, I think it's good for certain matchups and it's bad for certain matchups. Funny thing is, like, I find it hilarious that he uses Pikachu of all matchups to like highlight this, because like Pikachu just has like a lot of multi-hit moves, and belly armor just like tanks through everything that he does, and it's really hard for him to get remotely close to a belly break here. So it's like, I think belly armor is like perfectly balanced to the way it works. So it's like if you're playing like a heavy kicked or somebody that has like a hard hitting move that deals a lot of percent, then belly armor is not going to be the strongest thing. It can't be ignorant with it. Like I feel like 28% is like the perfect amount to like play the proper mind games with. So it's like certain characters like Inkling, Pikachu, Pichu works really well against. Or if you're fighting somebody like Ganondorf, fighting DDD, or maybe not DDD is the best example, like DK or like DK Bowser, Ganondorf. 2 hits, your belly armor is just going to break. And I think like that's a really good balance in terms of like the way that you're going to be fighting characters and all that stuff. So it's like right there, I think that's really stupid. The fact that he also highlights the 1v1, like making it worse, I think is just a very weird moot point. Like the damage buff that it does is not enough to really make much of a difference. And this is where the dumbest stuff comes from. So F-tilt being 2 frames active. So if it's a 1 frame active move, there's some complaints you can make about that. But it's like there's like a specific impact and it's there for 2 frames, which is fairly normal. 3 is like, okay, that's a good move. But when you go beyond like 3 frames, that is a very active meaty move. Like that's not normal. 2 is fairly normal. And it's like, this is somebody that's clearly not like really analyzing the hitboxes and everything. They just kind of see it and then they missed it in a match and they assume it's going to be bad for that. So let's break down this hitbox real quick. So first thing you got to consider that's really good about this move is that you do have armor that comes out, I believe it's frame 5. Yeah, frame 5. So basically, if you're taking this in context of fighting an attack or an attack specifically, this is a frame 5 move. Of course, grabs are going to beat it out as long as they grab before frame 12, and then shields are just going to tank it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But like, you got your armor here, so that activates at frame 5, and then you actually do have a really, really good hitbox on there. So like at first, like pre-patch, I remember this move wasn't nearly as good, but then like they did some things to like fix it. Let me pull up the Smash Wiki to specifically look at this. What's up, Kinky? I've looked up King K. Rool enough that I just have it locked here. Okay, patch notes. Let's look through this. So, where is Fortilt? Yeah, so the sweet spot had more range, which was a big thing. So like people just weren't getting hit by it. And then I think they did something with like the wrist as well. No, it was just the forward aerial hitbox. Yeah, so it was mostly that. But the fact that you have like this hitbox here that's able to like hit shorter people, you have a bigger hitbox here, so that way there's like way less likely to miss. That's good. It's 2 frames active, but like that is a nice meaty punish that comes out at a decent speed, plus you got armor on it. And the fact that you can also angle it, so then that way it's like you can anti-air better, or you can hit like people crouching low better and all that stuff, and like it reels back his head, so it works even better as an anti-air. That stuff is really good. This, by all accounts, this is a very solid move. And then like because of the extra range that they gave it, I think it's a lot easier to like 2-frame people too with this too. But let's see the way that they break down this move. So first of all, as we've mentioned, complains about the active frames. And now he's going to say this move miffs. This move misses. So let's look at this. Let's look at this example right here. You missed. You clearly missed. Like that's not the game's fault. That's just your fault. Like even if it was like an extra frame active, wait, I hit mute. It wasn't going to hit. Like maybe it would have, but like his hands are already gone. Like his hands have moved away. The attack is over and you want it to have extra frames on top of that. That's not a bad move. You just suck. That's something that people just need to get comfortable with. Here. Why on hell should that hit him? He completely avoided the attack like in its entirety there. Like even if you made it extra active frames, it still wouldn't have hit. He would have hit your head at that point. Oh, actually, no, he whiffed and then he nared. But still, that's not the move's fault at all. That is your own fault. You're exposing yourself right there. Up tilt doesn't have a hurt box on his upper arm, which I don't even know what you're talking about because like that is the hitbox on the upper arm. And that's not really the issue with up tilt. The issue that you have with up tilt and that hitbox being kind of like a little weird, at least in game, like when you just look at the individual hitbox itself, the way it lines up with K. Rool, it makes sense. However, something that I've highlighted in a video in the past, it does make this a little weird. Let's pull over to the game. Not that one. This one. So when you look at K. Rool's up tilt, there is a little trail there. Yeah, pretty much that. And that's... I think cloud's a pretty good way to represent this. So, you have the hitbox itself on K. Rool, but you also have, like, the little trail. Like, let's put this in slow motion real quick. So when I do this, you see that little trail there. So that trail does not line up with the hitbox. So just to show this again, let's go back into... Let's go back to those visual hitboxes. Here. And then we're going to compare it with the move real quick. So you have this little part right here. So the hitbox goes there and then there. So you have like this little dead zone that's like right here. And this is where the trail is going. It's going outside of the hitbox itself. So here to there. Very dramatic dead zone right there. So let's bring it back real quick. Oh wait, I just realized I didn't transition this. So there to there. There's this dead zone that's like right over here. So this little area where my mouse is, and if we go forward one, this little zone has like a miss. And like the visual trail is all the way on the outside over here. So let me show you to that real quickly in game. And now here again. So you see visual trail, and now look where my fist is going to go next. Right there. So like basically like 50% of that trail does not line up with the hitbox at all. Like it is definitely like a flaw with it. So now we're going to set cloud to jump. And now I think if I do it here. So, okay, the visual trail's hitting cloud, but up tilt's going to completely whiff. That is the issue that up tilt has. The visuals do not line up with the hitbox, but like if you took away that little trail there, the hitbox makes perfect sense. That's the one thing I do not like about up tilt. So like if they moved it the visual trail like more horizontally into K. Rool, then I'd be perfectly okay with that. So then that way it's like it just matches up perfectly fine. And, if they do that, less people will be confused about it, and then I think it'll be perfectly okay. If they made the hitbox match the trail, that would be awesome. I would be all over that. However, I don't think that's likely to happen. And even without changing the hitbox at all, it's still very good. Like, you're able to hit in front of you perfectly fine. Oh, wow, it actually hit him. But yeah, I guess he was just close enough. And that should hit him. Yeah. I'll refresh this real quick. Yeah, so I think at that point that's too late. And then yeah, so there he's inside. Okay, now let's try here. So visual trail. That was like a miss. I think that will hit. Okay, right here. See, okay, so there. That's like the perfect example right there. Like that just completely whiffed because like no part of him touched my arm. However, it looks like he's getting hit by the move. It's just like the way they do the animations. Like I would say more often than not, like the animations line up. But like again, the hitbox makes sense. The hitbox makes sense for what the move actually is. It's just the animation of it makes it weird. So, I would just want them to change the trail. If they did that, I'd be perfectly fine. And again, so there's that. And then that's what it kind of looks like in practice. It's just it's not that the move is bad, it's just that it's poorly visually communicated is what I feel. It's like, you know, this move is honestly pretty crazy. Like, if you notice in the visual hitboxes, the arm is intangible. So starting here, so it's intangible. So you cannot hit the fist at all. This will just go right through it. However, you can hit his arm right here. So if you have a sword like Cloud's, it'll go through. And then you do have it intangibility until this point. So it's like 1, 2, 3. Oh, you have 2 frames of intangibility before it goes away at the top of you. So that can be a little bit of an issue, but like overall, I think it's like you have just enough to make it worthwhile. Like to kind of give you an idea of like how good that intangibility is. Well, the lingering hitbox can be. It's like it just stays there forever. Like it's up there for 5 frames. Yeah, now we're getting that little spot where it's like he's not getting hit. So I really enjoy it. Perfect for covering platforms. I mean, he's been patched several times and like with actual like significant buffs. I just realized I didn't transition it again. But yeah, so it's like when you look at it, there, it's like it's really nice and active. Like you have 5 frames after the move is done to just like hold it there. Yeah. But yeah, now the main thing is like if they buff the move to be intangible the entire time, I think that'd be really cool and absurd. That'd be about it. And I don't think like that's a buff that would exactly break him. So I think I'd be perfectly fine to do. So while Cloud is jumping aimlessly, we're going to go back to that video, and we're going to roast it some more. So that's the thing. Like, I don't know exactly what he means by this. Like, if he's talking about it not lining up with the move, because like over here, actually, I'm not even sure what just happened there. Okay, so let's see what happened here. So basically, that's like a collision box thing when you look at it frame by frame. So let's just go all the way back. So it's like somehow Lucina ended up inside his belly. So like there was no way that one was gonna hit. That was just like very unfortunate placement right there. So we'll do this real quick. So I can do. See, like, look, like she was just physically inside him. There was unfortunately no way that was gonna connect. That's so hard to get in this game too. Like I'm actually impressed that happened. Yeah. And then he got pushed out. I think he didn't notice that that's what happened with the collision boxes there. And like this one I don't even understand. Like you got crossed up and you didn't punish a cross up. That wasn't a whiff, you just suck. Like that doesn't even make sense. Yeah. Yeah, no, like honestly, like some bonker stuff right there. So this one's really stupid. I don't even know why you would complain about this. Like the fact that this hitbox is only active for 2 frames. If you don't know, K Rool's down tilt's like a absolutely massive thing, and it can even like catch you while you're jumping. So I'll show you this. So this is just one random hitbox. Wow, this is not loading correctly. Let me try to refresh this. Okay, I think it should be good now. So, like, this is just a strong hit, and then this. And he's complaining that this is active for 2 frames. These hitboxes down here in the middle, these are the barrier hitboxes. The ones on the outside, this is just a Quake hitbox, and it can hit you on the air. So, he's complaining that this is active for 2 frames, which I'm like, 2 frames is okay. 2 frames is very okay for that. It's just like, hey, did you hit him or not? Kind of to show you like what that looks like in practice. I'll transition back to Jumping Cloud. Where's my controller? There it is. Okay, so let me put him like all the way to the edge here, because I want to just show you the absurdity of this move. Or I think right here we can hit him, and we'll go into frame by frame. So I think by the time I think this should work. So that hits him there. Let me check the visual hitboxes. Yeah, we could. I think we could hit him slightly higher than that. Like I think if I did it 1 frame earlier. So he's complaining that this move is only active for 2 frames. Like an anti-air that's that big. Okay, we can make it a little bit easier by doing this. So I think I can be here and hit him. And I think if I start it now, I think I can hit him. Or it might be a little bit too early. Or he's too far away. So there he's too far away. So let me go a little bit closer. Yeah. He's complaining that this is a 2 frame move. I just want to get like the most absurd hitbox, the most absurd hit I can get on this. And I think right here I can do it. Okay, so that's probably, I think I'm too far away. Slightly closer. I feel like I could hit him here. Yeah, okay. I wasn't wrong about that. Okay, so I think that's like, I think this is max distance then. Yeah, there we go. It looks like a glitch, but it's real. I love it. I love everything about that move. So yeah, that move is apparently bad for being 2 frames active. And not to mention, like, if you hit somebody with a berry hitbox at 60%, most people are not ready to mash it. So what you can do is you basically can combo that into an F smash, and if you're at the ledge, you'll kill them. So yeah, that's not really a move you should be complaining about in terms of active. Dash attack. So with this move is amazing. Like there's not really anything bad about this move. However, there is something to be said about complaining about visual representation. Kind of like the same thing with like F tilt. Just one thing about the visuals of this don't really make sense. So we're gonna put Cloud into control. And the thing about this move, as you can see right now, is the hitbox itself is only on K. Rool's belly. So because of that, you do get some very strange interactions just because of how big he is. Well, not interactions, it's just more of like weird visuals. So let's go to dash attack real quick. So some things to keep in mind about this move. It starts up frame 7, basically kills at like 135 fresh at the ledge. You got armor starting frame 7 as well, so you're able to tank hits too. And then it also lingers like crazy. Like this move is 16 frames active. Did I say 16? I meant 18. 18 frames active. So the first hit's very large covers like entire belly, and then it gets smaller with like the lingering hit and all that. And because of like it gets like that much smaller, and even like the strong hit too, you can actually jump over this. Like even if you do a short hop, you'll find yourself over this, despite like his head slamming into your crotch, which that's the weird visual on this. But like if you do this at the ledge, like you have 18 frames to just catch anything. So if it's standard get up attack, because the armor's there, it'll armor through it and then punish, and then also jump, it'll catch. So it's very good. But like you have to use it in the right scenario. Yeah, you can poke his head, but the weirder thing is just the fact that his head doesn't hit. So if I buffer dash attack right now, and I jump with Cloud, and this is just a short hop, it's gonna whiff. So like look, my face is going through his ass. that is a visual you can't deny right now. So it looks like I should hit him, but it won't. And like that's where this move is a little weird. So let's do that again. 3. Okay, so okay, I have to jump a little bit earlier with Cloud. So in this case, like because Cloud's foot is there, he gets hit. So this is probably not the best character to use. Like let me switch him up to Mario. I think we'll have a much better visualization of that. Rool does not mind what booty he eats. As long as it's booty, he's good. We'll put Duck Hunt, because we'll probably do some Duck Hunt things after this. What would the solution be, though? That's the thing. It's like, I don't think the move has to change itself. It's just that... Because like I feel like if you make the move really large, it becomes like... It becomes a very absurd move on a lot of instances. I just think it's... I think, like, the best way, like, I can sum up my thoughts on that move is... So I think Duck... Oh, Duck Hunt does not jump fast at all. Oh, man. At least compared to Cloud. Oh, oops. Let's try that again. Okay, yeah, so like the weak hit's gonna whiff there. So like that's what that looks like. So it's like, despite my body just being inside Duck Hunt, and it looks like it should hit him, it doesn't because of the way the hitbox works. God, we actually have to do it really early. So like if I do a full hop with Duck Hunt, I think it's a little bit different. So let me just jump with Duck Hunt now. No, I think that might... Okay, so like I think I got to this, I got to the weak hit by that point though. So and that'll hit, yeah. Okay, so Duck Hunt's not the best example to show for that. Yeah, because like full hop makes sense. Like, you know, full hop, you should get around that. Right. At that point, you know, you're completely avoiding King K. Rool. Okay, it looks like Duck Hunt's not really a character that avoids it off a short hop. Okay, so that's me just completely avoiding the strong hit right there. Yeah. Now, and I think like a lot of humanoid characters too, as well. It's just that the way that Duck Hunt's body just orients. So, like, let's say I'm approaching with short hops and, like, I want to beat him out. So, like, most of the time you would think, like, okay, my face is hitting them while I'm just lunging right at them. He should get hit. I think this would work better. Like, I think for a visual detail, what I would do is I would put trails on the belly. So, like, when it first activates, you make it, like, a bright spot on his entire belly, and then it shrinks. And I think if you did that, that would be a very good way to visually communicate what the hitbox is doing on K-Rool. Like, that's what I would want to, like, make people understand that move. Because, like, that way, the move itself is very good, and I think it's very well designed. But it's just that it doesn't really communicate why it makes sense to you when you look at it. And I think if by doing that, that would be great. Because, you know, it's a high risk, high reward option, and, like, it does beat out, like, a significant amount of options. So, like, based on that front alone, like, I think it's well designed. I don't think that move really needs to be changed. So, okay, so this is what he's complaining about right here, is that belly super armor will trigger instead of them getting hit by the late dash attack, which that is such a random thing to complain about. Because, like, even if you look at the regular one, let's say someone has a sword's going to hit the belly super armor, and, like, that's going to just, like, trigger that before it hits them. Like, that's not really, to me, that's just not really a valid complaint. It's just something you need to know. And, like, you know, if your belly's about to break, you shouldn't really be using dash attack. Like, you need to be more conscious about how you're using that. Okay, now, this is where the dumbest stuff comes from this. I don't know if Lega's still in here, but if Lega's in here, I know he can back me up. Plague's in here. She can definitely back me up on this. This guy has no idea what he's talking about. Forward aerial. So, this is somewhat of a valid complaint. So if I use forward air off stage and I am, like, below the ledge on Yoshi's story, I will just die because it's so laggy. Down air being 61. Like, again, this move is one that you should probably be jumping and using for that. And, like, that could get you killed. So, like, those two complaints are somewhat valid. And now this one, not even remotely valid. So before up air had way too much lag. Like, that'll definitely test you. So they literally shaved off 10 frames of lag. Not, like, landing lag, just end lag. So when you use this move in the air, you had 82 frames of lag, and it was not great. 72 frames, it's, like, at the perfect balance right now. So when they show off this move, yeah, see, like, you know, that's the good way to use fair if you're doing that. Or if you go down, you jump fair, and then you up B back. And, like, that's good. Like, I think they should make down air and forward air match the same amount of lag and probably, like, tick off 5 frames. And if they do that, that'll be fine. But, like, up air, because of that little hop, like, the lag, that's the reason why the lag is there. Like, if you don't understand why this move has lag, you don't know how to use this move, which is basically everybody. So let me show that off real quick. Not to mention the hitboxes on those are amazing. Okay, so let's just put Duck back to auto. So yeah, it's like this. So if I do that on Yoshi's and, like, I am, like, right there, I will probably die. Which that part sucks. Same goes for down air. So if I do this, I'm probably dead. So, like, the way that you counteract that is, like, you jump and do it. So then that way you don't really have to deal with it that bad. And, like, down air, you should be using this at the ledge. You really shouldn't be going off stage with it. You know, everybody wants to go off and get their spikes. And also for spikes, like, we also have back air, which has a lot less. So you can use that instead. But for up air. So up air is, like, a mid-air jump that you can do a lot of things with. Like, generally, you want to use, like, up air offensively. So that way you can, like, cancel out the lag here and all that. And when you're doing it off stage, let me put myself at, like, 40%, and let me let Duck Hunt do, like, F smash real quick. We'll put him to control. So he's going to F-smash me. Oh, I did the wrong one. Okay. So now I can use up air to, like, halt my momentum. But, of course, if you use it too low, that's when you're going to die. So let me put myself at 40%. F-smash. And now, like, I can use this to, like, help assist my recovery horizontally. So I think, yeah, I should be good for one more. And then, like, I could just basically halt my momentum like that and, like, just keep myself alive, like, even longer. So a lot of times, like, when you're getting hit by something like a smash attack, you could just, like, stall yourself, down B, extend it even further. I want to get myself to, like, a good percent. Okay. So now I can just, like, do that. And then assist it. So the other thing, too, with, like, up air is you have, like, belly super armor there on that. And with the belly super armor, like, you're able to tank hit. So, like, let me just put this up here really quick. There. Okay. Didn't do it at the right time. I think I hit my head, too. See, yeah, so you can tank hits. And that's actually something you can do here. So you can do that and just tank a hit. And then depending on what move they use, you can actually, like, go in and get the punish on them, too. So there's like so many things you can do with that. Not to mention, it's like, you know, you have this little movement stuff that you can do as well to, like, help bait out things. And the other thing, too, is, like, if I put Duck Hunt at, like, 60%, maybe not on this stage. I think here he'd have to be, like, at 70. Let's put him at 70. Let's have him jump. Yeah, he's basically dead. Especially if, like, I have rage on me. Keep in mind, like, this is, like, one of the stages with, like, the highest blast zone. So probably let's put him at, like, 85 maybe. 85, no rage. Let's see. Nope, he's still alive. 95. We're getting there. 95. 95, no rage. Keep in mind, this is not a smash attack. Or am I not? Wait, am I not doing full hop? Okay, yeah, I think that was one issue I had. There we go. So yeah, when you have, like, max rage and all that, that move realistically will kill a lot of lighter characters at, like, 60%. Like, this move is actually crazy. But, like, pretty much everybody doesn't really understand the things on that. They'll literally just go, oh no, why is that so bad? And then that's all they assume. Like, even, like, doing this out of shield is, like, really scary. And, like, you know, if I want to, I can short hop and, like, punish this area without, like, really doing much. And the other thing, too, is the strong hitbox is active for 5 frames. And then, like, the weak hitbox afterwards is, like, active for another couple of frames. Let me show it to you in slow motion. And then, oh my god, his back air analysis is one of the worst. This video highlights every single why you need to be educated before you even, like, talk about patching things. So, okay, so let's break down this move. So, I messed it up. Okay. So this move starts up frame 7. And he also does this. So you can contort things. Your head is intangible and you have belly armor. So even if you have a sword, it might go through the head, but then it'll hit the belly armor. So basically it will tank hits. It's this big. This thing is basically a smash attack that's mobile that, like, shoots you up like crazy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And his head is still intangible the entire time with the belly armor active. And that is basically a giant smash attack hitbox. Then it goes to the weak hit. So your intangibility's gone, but you still have some belly armor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have 6 extra frames at the end with the weak hit too. So it's active like crazy. This is a super meaty smash attack that's just there in the air. That's capable of killing characters at 60% when you got rage, and much smaller stages too. And then you also have armor going on, like even 1 frame after it's done. So you can even like tank hits in front of you too. And it also acts as like a third jump, well, kind of like a little like delay to like help extend your recovery horizontally too. And that's not even like using like the platform ability that you get with this move too. And then it's just, have set long about event lag. But people only focus on this, and they think because of this is a bad move. No, this move is stupid. This move is really good. And the landing lag's not that bad. It's like 13 frames of landing lag, so you can just basically just keep doing platform pressure like that. So it's a very good move, but nobody understands how it works. The move's amazing. Okay, so now that I've ranted about that, let's actually briefly talk about like fair and dare. So this is the hitbox for fair. This move is great. The end lag is a little bit much, which I will agree with that. It starts up frame 11, and then this hitbox here, if you land with the tip of this, it's -5 on shield. And then of course it extends out here, and you also get like a disjoint from this point on. So it's very disjointed, very long, very big. And this move is active for, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 7 frames too. So it's very easy to like catch a lot of things. That's a very meaty move. With these weak frames right here, if you hit this frame, if you hit this part of it on the hip and you fast fall with it, you can actually combo that into an F smash too. It's really dumb, but it's something you can do. So basically, what does -5, -7 mean? So basically, if I land this move like on like the middle of your shield while I hit the ground and I buffer a spot dodge, basically every single grab will miss me. It doesn't even matter how I space it. Yeah, no, they're nuts. So like that move is absurdly safe, and it basically is your neutral. It combos, it kills. It spaces for you too. Like this move does everything. You just need to like buffer. You need to buffer a defensive option to avoid the grab. Down air, this move is not the quickest stomp. That's frame 14, and then this move, the hitbox, and this is absurd. This will 2-frame every single character if you do it at the ledge. Not to mention you'll kill them at 40% if you land it. If you land that 2-frame. And then it lingers for quite a while. So you get 2 frames of the strong one. So 1, 2. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6. So in total, it lasts 8 frames. So you can cover things for a very long time. And it sends horizontally. And you've got armor on it as well. So no disjoints, but very strong. But yeah, I think the end lag's a little bit long on fair and down air to at least like utilize them off stage. But like they don't need that much shaved off of them. It would just be like a quality of life improvement. So let me show this a little bit in action. Control. Okay. And we're gonna go in slow motion. Now we're going to buffer grab with Duck Hunt. And now we're going to buffer spot dodge with K-Rool. And now I avoided it. That's how safe that move is. I didn't even perfectly land it, and I'm still able to avoid the grab. And here's me doing... I think I can get a down tilt before Duck Hunt can shield it. Let me see. No, Duck can shield it out. So I can jab, and I can get a grab. Those are like the 2 big things I can do with K-Rool. Or like up tilt. Same also applies to Bear as well. Bear is also a... Let's go back to Bear. Not down air, but Bear. Bear is a If you do it properly, you are -7/-9 on shield. So as long as you're hitting the sweet spot, which on shield, that's very hard to hit the sour spot. You could basically buffer, spot dodge, and you'll be safe. It's just you can space better with fair, so it's better for that. It's just something you got to program into yourself. So let's see how this guy complains about bear, because you're going to be very sad and disappointed. So he says the hitbox disappears on frame 21. So let me show you what he's complaining about. So the hitbox starts here. Keep in mind the fist is actually disjointed when it's enlarging, but you can hit like his little wrist area. So starts, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's mad that it ends here and doesn't end here, like after the motion is done. This is what he's complaining about. So it hits below him. And like even like close to the center. And like watch how he says this is a justified thing. Like that wasn't going to even hit even if you wanted it to. Like the move is done. The move finished here. And then like here, with like that little thing right there. You missed. Your fist is here. He's even outside the trail. You just missed. That was it. Yeah. So let's go back and let's show how wonderful this move is. And like that's not really the issue of back air. Back air has a different issue. It's just like its usage is kind of niche. Actually, we'll go into this. So, oh, I did that. Let's just put him back to 0 because he's gonna die immediately if I hit him with back air. Okay, so. And then there you go. Like that's where you should always be aiming to hit with it. Like there's no reason for you. There is no reason for you to be trying to hit this move when you are like right. Like he's trying to hit people here. And I have no idea why you're trying to hit like people directly below you. This is a back air. You're trying to hit people behind you, not below you. If you wanted to spike somebody below you, you got a down air. That's what you use for that. And then, you know, if you're trying to land on top of somebody, you should probably be using nair. So then that way you have your armor and everything that's like protecting you. It's just like, why are you trying to make this move do something it's not even remotely designed to do? And it's like, it does its things fine. Like the one thing that you have with like the one thing with back airs, this move starts frame 18. So like literally I can just jump in forward air with duck hunt and it's not gonna, I don't even have to bother with it. Like when you see this move coming out, just hit K Rool and you're not gonna have to fear it at all. Especially if he's short hopping with it. When like short hopping back air is not good. It's very easy to stuff out. The better way to think of this move is like kind of like just descending from above. So it's like, I think over here. So it's like, let me do another jump. So if I start my back air up here and now I fast fall. That was a little bit too early. Like that. So it's like basically the way that you want to utilize it is you want to just kind of do it in areas where people just can't stuff you out. And then that way you can just be like much safer with it. Doing this, like doing this, you just have like so much time to hit K Rool. So it's kind of niche in like the way they use it. Like Battlefield's like one of the worst stages to use it on, just because as long as somebody's near you and they can just touch you, then they can just do it. And it's not like you can really come down from above. Like that would be a good setup right here where it's like you full hop and then you come down with back air. Because like that way you got the the platform somewhat protecting you. And then it's just like you're still able to swipe through the platform there. Or it's like here, I can't really do it. You just want to make it like hard to stuff you out when you throw it out. But yeah, like the other thing too is compared to like down air, if using this off stage, this lasts for 49 frames compared to 61. So this is much better to use off stage and then like get back and recover. So it's like, you know, I can get back. Or if I do this, like then that's too low. Like I buffered up B out of that one. Or if like I do this and now I buffer up B, I can get back. So it's kind of like if you need to go deep, you're going to use back air because it has less landing lag. And if you want like a stronger punish, down air's better. And it's got like a bigger hitbox, but you need a bit more conservative. And it's like, this is where you're trying to use down air. See, like, look at that. So like my feet not only go through the ledge itself, but the hitbox extends like even below that as well. Like, look at that. That's menacing. This is... Oops, I messed up. Again. So it's like, you know. Let me put on this. It's like you're dealing with that right there. Yeah. There's so many things. So it's like when you're going off stage, there's two moves you're using. You're using back air, or you're using nair, or you're jumping and fairing. And that's how you just cover the most with them. So it's like those are the things that I'd personally recommend doing. Okay. So getting back to that video. So yeah, like the back air thing really makes no sense to complain about. Like you have one thing to complain about, but you just don't do it. Crown Orang. So this does legitimately need like some fixing with it. It's very good. And basically what happens is the reason why you see this happen is because Crown Orang has a rehit rate of 44. So like hitting it there, like that's stupid. But like with that return hit, like on that first one that he just did, like this. So like, you know, most people would look like, hey, why did that not hit? So the move itself cannot rehit for 44 frames. So that's the reason why you can see that. So reducing that to like 30 would help a lot with that. Against big bodies, you don't have that issue as much. But like against like these smaller characters, that tends to be more of an issue. Like there wasn't enough hits done. So like there, like, you know, most people would agree that should have hit him. But because of the rehit being so long, that's the reason why that's like that. So like I think that needs to be fixed. Also, complaining about this is dumb. It can definitely screw you up if you're not paying attention to what you're doing. But we'll show you a reason why like that. The animation's okay to exist. And 17 frames isn't too bad. It enables like all the cool tech for him. So because it's like he's in that special animation, it allows him to like pull off like crown sliding and all that stuff. So, you know, it's a good tool for him to have because like it enables some combos and stuff like that. It's just your movement. It's not really as much of a neutral option, but like if you find yourself in certain instances, it can help a lot. And then like, you know, you can do just so many things to catch your... There's so many things that you can do to like catch your opponent off guard. So that's something that shouldn't be changed. However, there is one thing that's a little bit weird. So the pickup animation I showed you takes 17 frames. However, when you do this, when you pick it up off the ground, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. It takes 28 frames before you can do it when you pick it up as an item. And that sucks. Like, I don't know why that is different compared to this. So let me show you real quick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 17. So like, to me, that makes no sense that that's different like that. But the item pickup is significantly slower by like basically double. So that I hope they change. But like this, that's fine. And it's like, the way that you avoid that altogether is just, shield. Just do any animation at all, and then as long as you're in that animation, it'll just pick up the crown automatically for you. So it's like, while it's not the biggest deal breaker in the world, I don't really see the reason for those two pickup animations to be so different in terms of how quickly you can act. Like if they kept the same frame data, but like just like the same animation, but they just made the FAF 17, that's all we need. Yeah, no, K-Rool's frame data is actually a lot better than people think. Like even his moves that are like super laggy, quote unquote, are not that bad. So like for example, Nair comes out frame 7, but the armor starts frame 6. So this is technically a frame 6 move. Forward air's frame 11. If you look at how big that is, that's really good and how safe it is. Even neutral air's -5, -4 on shield. So you can land there and spot dodge and be safe. Back air, this move is slow. Up air's frame 7, which considering how strong that move is, it's a frame 7 smash attack. Does all these other things. That's really good. Down air frame 14 is pretty normal for what that is. Up smash is frame 6. This move is absurdly fast. Down smash, he leaps into the air frame 4, so he can avoid a lot of attacks like that already. So, and then armor starts frame 8. So you can either consider this a frame 4 or frame 8 down smash, depending on what you're avoiding. Dash attack's frame 7. F tilt, you have that armor coming out frame 5, and then it hits frame 12, which isn't too bad. Frame 5 for up tilt, frame 4 for jab. So like overall, he's pretty fast. And then like, his counter will come out frame 5 too, and that includes invulnerability frame 4, and this is like the strongest counter in the game. He has armor the entirety of side B, but he can only take up to 6%. Once that's reached, then he gets broken out. So against certain characters, that's very good. But yeah, that's frame 27, so like links are faster. And then like Blunderbuss is usable now. That comes out frame 25, and then you can act out like frame 40 or something. So yeah, let's get back to the video. So yeah, like this is really dumb to complain about. Frame 17 is not bad. It's really the item pickup that's bad. And this is what he complains about, is the fact that K-Rool cannot use his own crown as an item against people. It's a little rough, but like, it's not that bad. And now, this is the dumbest thing. The absolute dumbest thing to complain about. He's complaining about F smash being a frame 2 move. And so this is the thing. This is a move you can angle up and down. So if you have like a crouching character that can actually like sort of pancake, they'll avoid it when they're there. But you can angle it down to hit most of those. Not to mention the entirety of that glove is also a disjoint too. So not against sword characters, it won't beat that out. But like against brawlers, it'll win. And like, look at this. He missed. He missed. He missed. Look at that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So he wants this to be a frame 4 active move in order for him to get a punish. Like, that would be a dumb smash attack. Like, there's smash attacks that are that dumb. But there's no reason for that to be that dumb. Like, look, you missed. What are you talking about? You suck. That's why it whiffed. There's no other explanation to it. So this one is the body box issue. This is just like a body box issue when you do it. So like, as you can see, I think the collision hitbox, when you bury an opponent, the collision hitboxes don't work the same. And that's kind of the issue that you see right here, is that like Piranha Plant was inside him. So that's the reason why you get that happening. So it's like, that's not even the right blind spot that he's talking about right there. So like there, they air dodged past you. Well, they actually air dodged, so they did that, and then they teleported in front of you. So it's like, if you really break down the actions that happened. So first of all, up B. Oh, they actually up B'd. And then, yeah, he didn't take the lunge into consideration. So the way that happened is because of like the way the collisions work. The collisions made that happen. So like if there was no collision, she would have ended up like behind him. But because of the collision, she got pushed in front. And then like this. The good thing about this part is like, for the most part, he just talks about like, okay, you know, he has to have weaknesses. So like, not really is concerned about those. But gut check. Okay, let me explain to you why this move is actually really good. So pre-patch gut check was not good. I know. Let me see. Gut check patch. Rool. Okay, we don't have the boxes there. Let me just open up this guide real quick. Also, if you want to know how deep King Gray Rool goes, Plague Von Karma made a 100-page document on this character. it's honestly insane how much stuff that there is that you need to know with him. Not that you need to know, but like there's just too much information out there, and he's very complicated. Not even DK. DK's negative on hit. You don't want heavies to be DK. But let's go to gut check. Gut check. It was up here. I don't know if they show the pre-patch. No, they don't. Okay. So like one of the patches, there was a gut check change. And they significantly increased the hitbox size of it. Unfortunately, I don't know where to find it exactly. But this is what it looks like now. So the counter itself is big enough that it actually goes below the ledge. So like, let's say Ken is doing his Shoryuken. You will actually catch the end of it every single time, and it will just counter him. So he cannot recover. Even if he sweet spots it, it'll trigger it, and he'll get countered by it. So before, like, gut check used to literally be like the size of his stomach, or like slightly smaller than that. So like same exact position, but smaller. Like it barely went outside the size of the belly. But then they fixed it so like it actually covers things now. So you can still hit him from behind. But like during the blue frames, he's invincible, so you can't hit him until this frame, and all grabs will whiff him until this happens. So it lasts for a pretty long time, and then it's gone. So it's like actually like one of the most active counters out there too. So from frame 4 to 15, you can actually like tank everything, and then you get this hitbox. So yeah. So let's look at this real quick. So when you counter anything, like a jab or a projectile, this hitbox comes out. And that comes out the frame 3. It's huge. It will catch literally everything. As long as you are within the gravitational pull of K. Rool, you will get hit by this. And it's very strong. Like even if you counter something weak, like this will just kill. Not to mention that you can do this thing called reverse gut check. The way that you do this is when you counter, you just hit the stick in the opposite direction, and you'll turn around and do this. So this will confuse a lot of people, but there's something very important about that. So I'm going to show you why it's actually like a really busted technique that you can do. And it's going to require like so much precision from me. It's not even funny. I should probably gonna get that little message again. First of all, let's increase Duck Hunt's damage to like 60. We'll do 70. 70 sounds like a good number. And we are going to turn it back to frame by frame because we're gonna need that. Actually, I think I can do it here. So And now I'm going to turn it around. So keep in mind, like, duck on cert boxes right there. So that's with no rage, too. And most of the time, like, you know, when you're doing forward tilt, you're going to be holding out in that direction as well. So in this case, like, I think it's going to miss now because... Yeah, so in that case, that one's going to miss. I was trying to do, like, F tilt there. And now I'm going to turn it around. I just need the F tilt to work. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I'm going to be DIing out because it's like, okay, I'm doing an F tilt. There we go. So the thing with that is you can also do that to people that are trying to edgeguard you with aerials. So, like, let's say I'm fighting... most infamous example is if you're fighting a Rob doing side B and you do that, they will die at, like, 40%. Because it's, like, when you're hitting them with it, the Rob player is going to be, like, all the way out here, and then you decide to reverse gut check them there. So as long as, like, that final hit hits them, or if they just get hit by the attack itself, like, they're flying. So it's, like, the most powerful, like, reverse edgeguard tool that you can have. Not to mention, like, you know, the move comes out frame 4. And then frame 5 for the activation. So as long as you call them out properly, like, you are killing them early. So it's hard to use on Wi-Fi because it becomes frame 10. Because there's 5 puts of input delay, and then there's another 5 frames added on top with Wi-Fi on the best connections. So that's hard to do. You have to predict it. But, like, as long as you're not doing that, it's fine. And it also reflects projectiles too, which, you know, unless they're aiming for your head specifically, which is kind of hard to do. If you're, like, reflecting charge shots, that's never going to really happen. You know, it works fine. So people just gut check. They're kind of dumb. Pre-patch gut check was not good. But, like, after they fixed it, it's amazing. And then jab not always linking, like, that's legitimately an issue. That happens every now and then. Jab, for the most part, is very good, though. You know, you deals 12% and basically will always send it to tumble. And the hitboxes are nice. Like, you know, it matches the arm. So it's very easy to jump around, which is, like, the one issue I have. And then, you know, you have this come out. It's kind of normal. And then jab 3. Jab 3 is very good. But jab 2, I think, like, has more range than jab 3. And I think that's the reason why you get some, like, really weird, like, connection issues. And I don't know why that is. Because, like, he kind of leans forward with it. So I don't know why that happens. Like, specifically jab 2 to 3, if you're hitting them at the tip, we'll have some weird connection issues every now and then. And then up smash falling hitboxes, which that's not an issue at all. Like, up smash is a weird move. So it's like, you know, you start off by that, and then you have, like, the weird planking things. So it's like, so that's strong to weak. And then there's, like, this little spike hitbox. This is one of the best shield pokes in the entire game. Like, this catches basically everybody. Like, as long as their foot is sticking out of their shield, you can use this to reliably, like, shield poke them. And then, like, this spikes into the final hit, which is this. And basically that's, like, kind of a get off me tool, but it really only works at, like, 50%, I would say, like, somewhere around then. And you're not trying to hit with that move. You're trying to hit with that first one. And you just kind of use, like, that lingering part as just, like, a way to swap people off if they're in front of you, and you can take hits with it. So it's just a weird move. Oh my god, I'm on a roll with that today. I'm kind of angry, but yeah. So as you can see right here, jab kind of lines up with the arms, and then it lines up with that. But, like, this, I think, has, like, slightly more horizontal range than the foot for some reason. Because, like, jab 2 to 3 just does not link properly for some odd reason. If they're at the tip. If they're at the tip specifically. But most of the time it works. And then up smash is just weird. So whenever you're doing this move, you're just trying to hit this. That's really the only time you should be using it. And then you have a spike here, and this is really good for shield poking. Like, this thing's wonderful. So if their foot's sticking out on a platform, you can use that really reliably to poke it. And then that combos into this. So you don't ever try to really hit with this. It's just like, hey, did it miss? This should catch them type deal. Not to mention you have like armor on the entire time. Okay, and then we get to here. And then I think like that was really it. And like that's the weird thing. It's like they kind of show that they actually know how to play this character to like a certain extent. So I'm just like, what are you complaining about? Like, yeah, that's how you use F smash and stuff like that. And like, there you go. Like, hey, you read the recovery. Like, how did you even come up with those complaints? Like, there's like, okay, you know when to use gut check. You know when to use gut check. Like, what were you complaining about the entire time? You know how to use this character. So it's just like, to me, it's just like, this is dumb. It's so dumb. So this is why education in Jimmery is important to get rid of very, very early on. So remember that stuff. Remember that stuff.